Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to do a day 3 of practice update out here on Lake Eufaula, Oklahoma. I apologize for not getting to the first and second day of practice updates. I told you guys at the beginning of this tournament or this week that I was going to do my best to do a video every single day, but unfortunately with these long days, June offers the longest days for tournament fishing. I'm up at 4:30, I get on the water at 5:30, and then I get off the water the last 2 days around 8:30, and don't even get home until like 9. And then I've got to eat, take a shower, talk to my buddies, talk to my wife, and then go to bed around 10:30 or 11. So lots to do, and I just run out of time. But anyway, since we got a kind of a longer period of time between getting home and going to bed, and the reason for that is that we've had a lot of thunderstorms today, and I ended up putting it on the trailer and off the trailer, launching 3 different times in 3 different places, trying to dodge these thunderstorms, and finally got tired of it, and so just decided to come back. And I haven't seen a lightning bolt since, so we probably didn't make the right decision, but I'm not going back out there and wasting all that time. But anyways, practice so far has been okay. So usually a good practice consists of finding a pattern, finding a specific area, and finding some baits that you feel like you can get bit on. Okay, so if you find all 3 of those things, you're in for a pretty good tournament, or at least usually that's how it works out. But if you only find 1 or 2 of those things, sometimes that's a little bit concerning. That's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. Is I kind of have an idea of a broad region of the lake that I feel most comfortable in as far as the frequency of bites, and also I've seen decent size. Some days it's not, it hasn't been like, I can call my shot or anything yet, but so I've got like one big area of the lake that I feel like I need to start honing down and figuring out. But I've really only got one of those 3 things, those 3 key things that I need during practice, and that is the bait. I've got a handful of baits that I can catch fish on pretty regularly, and I've got one bait that I feel like is my strongest producer. Obviously, I can't go into details on that until after the tournament, but it's nice to at least have a bait that I have a little bit of confidence in right now. And I've caught them in the sun, I've caught them on rainy days like this, I've caught them in the wind, dirty water, somewhat clear water. So it's been working just about everywhere. But that being said, it hasn't produced stellar results. So far, my best day has been 9 pounds, and 2 of the days I haven't even caught a limit of keepers. But yesterday I caught like 25 fish, probably 6, maybe 7 keepers all day yesterday. So it's not phenomenal, but we're starting to put things together. So the next couple days are kind of going to be the key for me, because I really need to start narrowing down my focus as far as the type of areas that I'm going to be fishing and the region of the lake that I'm going to be fishing. So, the one thing that's been really difficult on this lake is finding a definitive pattern. Okay, so like, I've been trying to find a specific type of structure that I can catch them on, or cover that I can catch them on, and I'll catch a fish or 2 off of anything, but not a single thing produces consistently. So it's like, I've heard so much about rocky points on this lake going into practice, but unfortunately rocky points have not been producing for me on a regular basis like apparently other people are experiencing. So I'm not saying that that's not the deal. I'm just saying I haven't been able to make it work. But one thing I've done really well in this practice is I've been focusing on my strengths. So I haven't deviated. Like I told you guys in the beginning, when I first got here and set up camp, I'm going to focus on my strengths. I'm going to shallow water power fish, that's what I like to do, and I'm going to find a way to do that in this event. And I think that it's totally doable. You know, with the muddy water, there's always going to be fish shallow, and this lake has a ton of muddy water. The one thing that has surprised me so far, and I feel kind of silly for even thinking that it was going to be a deal, is that there's really no cover in the water to be flipped. Of course, there's bushes that are in the water, but they've only got that much water on them. You know, very, very little water is on any of the shoreline cover. You know, if it was 2 more feet, you know, it was 2 foot higher, it would be a deal. It would be a lot of fun flipping and pitching, you know, bushes on this lake. But there's really none of that. You could find some laydowns and things like that, but there's not a lot of that cover. It's more like you can have a flipping stick on the deck and maybe pick it up 5 times in a day. That sort of deal. So primarily what's in the water is rock, and you know, so finding, you know, good rock areas where there's, you know, all the ingredients that you need to make you know, that rock stand out is kind of the biggest key. So yeah, that's kind of narrowed my focus a little bit, you know, as far as the type of presentations that I can throw and feel confident in. But I was really hoping for that flip and bite, and that just is not the deal here. You know, I've gone up so many creek arms, and you know, that was one of the things that surprised me, is that you know, I had some buddies that caught them going up rivers in the invitationals when they came here, and that's just not happening for me. I've checked pretty much every big major creek on this lake and caught a handful of fish, but there's no big population of fish to be found. At least I haven't found it going way up these backwaters, which is surprising to me. You'd think that if they're back there in the spring, they're gonna still have a somewhat of a population during the summer, and I'm sure they're still there. I'm just fishing over them, and maybe they live on the main creek channel, and so I just need to be looking out. But it's not something really I'm willing to do. You know, I'm looking for those aggressive fish that are on the bank. So that's kind of what I'm doing, and I have to find the areas that those fish are in. But anyways, guys, that's kind of the gist of it. We've got one of those 3 things that kind of you need to start, you know, pegging down to, you know, have a good tournament. And you know, one of those, you can have one of those ingredients and one of those ingredients only and still have a good tournament. But for me to have a really, really good tournament, I need to start figuring out the other 2 factors, location and the type of cover or structure I need to focus on. So anyways, guys, that is the word from Lake Eufaula. And I'll try to keep you guys updated. Probably tomorrow we're going to get off the water a little bit early. No, we're probably going to get on the water a little bit late. So we're going to get home late, and we're probably going to get on the water late because we got some thunderstorms in the morning. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Thanks for keeping up with me this week, and make sure that you guys like, share, subscribe, trust the process. I'm going to see you out on the water.